wonderful reception.
Thank you for being here.
It's my pleasure to come here and talk to all the Star Wars fans that are around that we never knew existed. It's lovely to see everybody enjoying themselves on this beautiful day and having fun. And that way it makes my job so much easier to do because everybody's happy.
Exactly, yes. So, Peter, first of all, I want to, on behalf of everyone here, welcome you here to our wonderful island of Puerto Rico. I hope you've been having a good time here. I know you've been here since Wednesday.
Yeah.
And,
we've done the tourist bit and thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's a beautiful, beautiful location, beautiful town, and wonderful people.
So let's begin, obviously, from the very beginning here. Tell us a little about yourself professionally as an actor, where you're from, how you got into acting, and when.
I was born in England many, many years ago, but we won't go into that. I started work as a hospital orderly and was working in a hospital, and someone was looking for people with big feet for the Guinness Book of Records. And came along because the guy that my co-worker was about 5'4", 5'5", had tiny feet, so you can imagine it was like glass, me, glass co-worker. So that article went into a newspaper. A director was coming home from the studios looking for someone big. And I saw the article, and I got contacted for a movie which was Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger, which I played the Minotaur. Right? A lot of heads shaking there. Oh yeah, I remember that one. I wish I could forget it. And I say that with every respect because we spent 3.5 weeks out on the ocean in the Mediterranean on what was laughingly called an Egyptian boat. But it was a 18-wheeler chassis with an Egyptian boat on the top of it. So the chances were that it could sink at any moment. So we do that, and we meet a lot of people in this business, and they all move from movie to movie. Consequently, 9 months later, I get a call, would you like to be in a movie? Yeah, sure. What is it? Oh, it's a sci-fi movie. We haven't decided the title yet. But, I said, okay, that's fine. What about the character? Oh, it's something in a hairy suit. Okay, fine. Anything for the glamour of movies and stuff like this. And what do they call this thing? Oh, it's called a Wookiee. What the hell's a Wookiee? And nobody could give me a description. So I went up and saw George in the studios, and on one wall of his office was a line of all the major characters. There was Han, Luke, and Leia in the middle, 3PO, R2. One end there was Darth Vader, the other end was Chewie. I looked at Vader and said, no, that's a bit small, but it was only 6'7" after all. So we go along to the other end, and there is Stewie with a question mark at 8 foot. So I thought, that is better. That's more my size, rather. So a little time went past. I sat down, made myself comfortable, wait for George. Door opens, this guy with plaid shirt, jeans, sneakers. That is George. Walked in, and naturally, being an Englishman, what did I do? I stood up. George turns around to Gary Kurtz, who was the associate producer, and looked and said, I think we found him. They were obviously looking for the character. I filled the bill, height-wise and also blue eyes, which the drawings had. And within, I would say, within an hour, I was in the costume shop getting that costume made. And within 10 days, about 10 days to 2 weeks, we were actually shooting because the major unit had come back from Tunisia. They were all out in Tunisia shooting the Tunisian stuff. We were doing Docking Bay 94 with Harrison, Jabba and myself, on all three of us on set. So that was 2.5 weeks, or just under, from the actual interview. So, you know, you hear about these wonderful interviews that are instantly, everybody makes a decision. This was actually one of them. So I am grateful to have George to thank for what I've been doing for the past 20, 30 years. So that was how we got started.
Great. Having come across such a new character, how did you as an actor prepare? Or what direction were you given to become Chewbacca?
We were given a little bit, because you can pick up so much from drawings, but to actually be able to turn a flat drawing into a 3D character, you have to get certain things from a director, what he wants, how he wants it played. And one of George's things were, right, you haven't got your lines to learn, because Chewie doesn't speak English. Chewie speaks Wookiees, so, but I'm one of those people that can learn on set. You know, when I say that, it means that you can have 3 or 4 characters. You know the plot. It's just a matter of working out what you actually have got to do. And being a background character originally, Chewie just stood there. And I figured you can't stand there for every day, 8 hours a day, without doing something. So you had to make your own actions up. And it seemed to work. It seemed to be able to have influence the way that George wanted Chewie to behave. And I always figured that if I did anything wrong, he would tell me. You know, Peter, you did this wrong. You should have been over there. Okay, we'll do it again. And as I say, I learn fairly quickly by example. Therefore, it's a lot easier if someone tells you what to do, and then you actually do it. That way, everybody knows what everybody else is doing, and that was the way I treated it. And it was only when the success of Star Wars came out, and they decided to do Empire, that Chewie was actually upgraded to become a major character, because originally he was a 2E character. What I mean by 2E character is that Chewie, if it didn't work, if there was no chemistry between Harrison and all the others, if Chewie didn't have that, 2 weeks he could have been gone, in the trash bin, out. So fortunately, there was a lot of camaraderie, call it what you want. There was something there that worked, and it shows in all 3 movies between Harrison, myself, you know, I'm his conscience basically, and I stop him doing I stop him from doing dark things. So that was the way the character came about.
We know that at first many people involved in the production of the films didn't understand it. They thought it was weird, it was strange, it was never going to take off. Did you share in those beliefs as well? Did you find Star Wars to be something ridiculous?
Well, when you think about it, all we were told was certain things in the script, and this was just the major shoot that we were doing in England. And remember, all the models and special effects were all being done in California. So you'd shoot for 2 days. Then this is, you know, we're talking about days when film was actual film, not digital or anything like that. So you're talking about 2-day shoots. Then it will go back to California and be put together with the special effects stuff like the asteroids, the X-wings and stuff like this, so that they knew what it was like. And we didn't see it till probably 3 or 4 days after that. So we were told what was going on, and hopefully we will, you know, example in the cockpit of the Vulcan, we were told, look left, look right, there's an asteroid there, there's an X-wing coming in there, and hopefully we all looked in the same direction. I know there are certain scenes, even now, that are in Star Wars, where Carrie and Harrison are looking in opposite directions. So, you know, as I say, it was a totally different way of making movies than it is today. So that's the way it goes.
As an actor, what did you find were the most challenging aspects of doing these films, as well as working with someone like George Lucas?
The challenges were trying to keep cool. You know, when you've got a costume like Chewie's costume, which is mohair with yak hair through it, it's like wearing heavy weights, winter clothes in a climate like we've got out here. So you're sweating like crazy. There's more liquid going into you than you care to have, but you need it, otherwise you have a character that could pass out and did do on one of the particular movies. So you've got to keep dehydrated, or keep hydrated rather, and cope with everything that's going on, and just figure out what you want to do with that particular character, because George is a fairly sensible person, but if you're getting close to what he wants out of it, he will give you a little bit of encouragement just to make you do that extra bit that you want to do, and he will be perfectly happy if you do it that way. Or in fact, all the directors were pretty good and pretty lenient on what was going on, because I think George laid out what he wanted from each director right at the beginning of each movie. So, you know, and as I say, you learn by your mistakes, and if you get encouragement from other members of the crew, oh, you do a certain move, oh Pete, that was great, you know, that means that Chewie's happy or he's not happy. Keep that in. When we do it again, keep that in. You'll probably end up on the cutting room floor, but not to worry about that. You just do things and you make the character your own. You have to.
To what do you attribute the success of the Star Wars franchise?
Success is, well, there's never ever been any other movies quite like them, that have got all your fantasy stuff in them. They're for kids and adults, but how can you define how old a kid has to be to enjoy a movie? You know, I've seen 70-year-old grandmas that have come up and said, I love your movies, only because they have been taking their grandchildren to see them. And how many at that particular time, how many of the movies were suitable to take all the family without any gore or blood or anything like that? All right, Stormtrooper gets killed, he falls down. No blood, no nothing. So you carry on, and as I say, it's a film that sends out messages to, standards and things like this, which hopefully the third generation, which I'm talking, the little ones and the parents that have got them, will bring them in to that Star Wars code of living, and this sort of thing, if they want to. There's a broad message being broadcast over these movies, and if you don't want to, if you just want to enjoy them as a movie, fine, that's not a problem. Because they're there for entertainment. Okay,
Perfect. All right, so we're gonna then have members of our audience ask questions. So Carrión here will, si alguien aquí tiene pregunta para Peter Mayhew, pues se dirige aquí a compañero Ricardo.
So what can you tell us about the production of the new movie, comparing to the old ones? How was it?
Yeah, the comparative of the two movies, they are totally different. When you think it's been 25 years and George has more or less pioneered the difference between the two sets of movies. First of all, the original set of movies were on film, were on celluloid film. Now they are shooting straight digital onto CD-ROMs and the whole modern era. So you don't need that many props and stuff like this. The whole system is completely different. I noticed this when we were down in Australia last year and the year before, watching him actually shoot on episode 3, and it's totally all right. You've still got the major sets, but there's so much digital stuff going on, and certain characters that have to be digitalized. Otherwise, you couldn't do them the way that they were and justified them. So it's a totally different setup wise. When Chewie and the other Wookiees get together, it's totally different because there's nothing there. You're working on blue screen basically. So it's totally different, but I think it's the way forward to be, because you can shoot a scene, look at it 30 seconds later. If it's not right, you wipe that one out and start all over again. Whereas before, it was a 3-day process, 2-day process of getting the films processed back from the labs, look at them and do it all over again. So it's quicker and probably easier. Okay.
Próxima pregunta.
How did it feel to work with Evan McGregor, Natalie Portman, and Hayden Christensen, then Harrison Ford?
Hang on. Oh, that's right. Working with the older ones was wonderful, because we had a lot of Harrison, Mark, and Carrie were basically unknowns, There were actors and actresses that were young, very young. So we had fun. We had our own, we had our own way of having fun on set, playing tricks and jokes on people. I can remember because when Star Wars was being shot, it was a very, very hot summer for England. It was about 80 degrees, so you can imagine. I'm sweating like crazy, and someone, and I believe, I'm not certain, it was either Carrie or one of the girls on the set, brought on 2 big water pistols, the water blasters, and everybody was it was most welcome, but it was also very, very cold because they filled them up with ice water. And you're sweating there in costume, and suddenly you get an icy blast down your neck. It's Carrie. She's come up between my legs and gone whoosh straight up. Stupid things like that. But it was nice going down to Sydney and working and seeing all the youngsters who were not around when we were originally making the movie. The only person from the original movie, apart from 3PO, is the Emperor Ian McDermott. He has now become the old man, because when I knew him on Star Wars, he was about a 28-year-old man. So he has come, virtually the pair of us have come full circle and we're there. We are the elder statesmen, and it's just a wonderful feeling to be around for what could be the conclusion of Star Wars. I don't know, I don't know whether they're going to make any more. I hope they do. The only way that you can really tell is to watch the internet and see what's going on there, because they're going to put all the news, what they're preparing to do after the release of the movie. It will all go on the net, and you will be able to find out what's going on for those that want to. I don't know. There's a possibility of television, or I don't know. It's just one of those crazy things that will happen. If it's going to happen, it will happen, and that because there's too many people around the world that say that this. I've spent this amount of time with it, and it ain't going to go away. There's too many people to say, "Oh, Star Wars will go away." No way. Not the way I see it, because we go to Japan, we go to all over the world, and there is a stronger force anywhere in the world, almost as strong, as not quite as strong as here, but it depends all over Europe there are 501st garrisons and other fan forces that are there's not going to be, it's not going to die, let's put it that way. But working with the other guys was wonderful.
Okay.
First of all, welcome to our little island, and thank you for being here today. My question is, what can we do to bring more famous people like you to our cons, to our conventions, so that we can have more panel conversations, panel discussions like the one that you're giving right now?
That's a good question, and I'm going to duck it because I don't know what you can do to bring the other people. Some of the older people probably won't come, but you might get some of the youngsters like Ewan or Hayden or whatever to come out. I don't know. I came out because I was invited a couple of years ago. We couldn't make it last year, but this year we just we were available, and I am glad that I did, because I have had a whale of a time. But going back to your original question, I don't know. You have to go through the fan clubs and stuff like this. It's up to, you know, if you want people out here, it's up to you to get in touch with either with the film companies or the people like this, and say, look, we would love to have them. What's the chances? I don't know. You know, as I say, I come out here because I love being with the fans and enjoying myself. So I don't know what the others are doing, and when you remember that most of the people in movies are professional actors, so they're moving on and on to other movies, so their schedules are probably very, very tight anyway. So it's up to you or people like you to make the personal approach or make an approach and see what happens. I can't promise anything. Okay? It's me.
How much information do you know yourself about your character, in the sense of, do you know Chewbacca up to the extent of the movies, or do you know more information about Chewbacca in expanded universe? How well in contact are you with your character?
If I knew more than you, I will be equally as wise. So I don't know. I know only what we do in the movies. I have not gone through the books about the expanded universe. I know that there are certain authors out there that have done, and I've read some of the books that go with Han and Chewie on their adventures. But you know, I've read sort of a lot of books, and Chewie's got a life of his own after Star Wars. You know, he was around before Star Wars came. He's got his own planet. Therefore, he could probably make a series of movies about him. But I'm not gonna pray to George to do this. But you know. But it would be nice, sir. I read a lot, or a fair amount, and I learn. You know, my character, I do what I have to do for that particular character, and if I've got to do more, I will learn it. So anyway, okay.
And then one final question here. Exactly how tall are you?
4'6".
4'6".
Lying down. 7'4". Stocking shorts. Stocking feet. Anyway, I'm gonna go, but I'll be back. I'll be back at my table. Anybody want autographs? Come and see us.
Peter, thank you very much.
Gracias, muchachos. Ok, vamos a empezar.
Ok, tiene.
Vamos allá, vamos allá.
Vamos allá. ¿Dónde empiezas? ¿Allá para acá?
Allá para acá y reunión de entrada. Ok, bajamos un poquito la musiquita para que podamos...
Sí, porque como aquí hay un metro.
El metro digital no se ve.
Exacto, el metro digital.
Un aplauso para el Boba Fett número 2. Un aplauso. Ok. Un aplauso para
Vader.
Un aplauso para el Port. Felipe claro, ¿sabes, verdad? Un aplauso para el Tokyo Raider aquí. No, mira este.
Yo con el pito. Con el pito.
Un aplauso, no.
Y un aplauso para
Ustedes perdieron, sorry. El próximo año. Ok.
Seed Apprentice.
Un aplauso para ella. ¿Brinca sola? No, está bien. Ok, ¿de dónde tú eres? Explícame. ¿De qué serie eres de personaje? ¿Esa fue de UFO? ¿O de otro? Está bien, un aplauso para